Welcome to Sunday. It's time for the North Carolina Vinyl Picker Show. And on this episode, I'm taking you on a walk to the park. That's right. Picker's out doing his 2 miles. Let's see if everybody can get out there and do their 2 miles. Yeah, 67 ain't easy. It's getting harder every year to get out here and do it, but I do it. After this, I'm going to go grab some records or CDs and bring them to the table. So I'll see you soon on the other side. Good Sunday morning. It's time for the North Carolina Vinyl Picker Show. And on this episode, I went to a thrift store, and we went over to Asheville, North Carolina. That's right. We went over to Mr. K's, and I found one record over there. Slim pickings over there this week. And I also have something here that I got from Norway that I forgot to show you last week. And then at the end of the show, I'm going to do my top 10 CDs from 1993. That's right, CDs. As you can tell, I've been working on my CDs. I'm still selling a few, but as I'm going through the 90s, I realized that CDs are very important, because there's a lot of records I don't own that are on CD that I can't get on LP. So keeping some is essential, put it that way. So at least I've gotten it down to where it's manageable. And these are the rock CDs. My jazz CDs are in another room. So I guess we'll start off this week by thanking all my new subscribers, which has been exploding. And I'm heading towards 2,000 subscribers. And I appreciate all you people out there that are tuning in and commenting. I love all the comments, and I try to answer everybody back. It's difficult. There's so many people loving the North Carolina Vinyl Picker these days. So, yeah. But thank you very much. And keep those comments a-coming. So I want to show you this one here. And this here came from the Great Britain. And this is a pretty cool 45. I've been getting a lot of cool 45s this year. But I'm going to show you this one here. We'll do the reveal. Yes, it's IQ. Yes. IQ is a progressive neo-prog band that was started out in the early 80s. And then continued on till this day. And they have a new album that's coming out real soon. So looking forward to hearing that. And this is from a time where Peter Nichols had left the band for a couple albums. And there was another guy that took over, but it didn't work. And it was more poppy and stuff. But still not a bad album, but it's just not a great album. And this is the 45 of Sold on You, which is on the Squonk label. And there's a picture of the album over here. So I was glad to pick this up for, I don't know, it was like $5. The shipping coming from the UK was more than he wanted for the 45. And then at Mr. K's, which is a great place over in Asheville. Mr. K's is a used record and CD, and they have mostly books. So if you're into reading and you want to go by and see Mr. K's, and there's a Starbucks and a McDonald's right next door. And then next door to that, to the right, there's an Ace Hardware, so if you need any hardware items. And then there's a store that sells craft beers, different kinds of beers from all over the world. So you got it all in one little shopping area right there. And there's a little thrift store there for women and stuff. My wife likes going in there. So this album here is Deep Purple. Now, I didn't realize that back in the 80s that Ritchie Blackmore, and they got the whole band back together, like the Machine Head band back together in the 80s and made 2 albums. Well, actually, it was 3 albums, but I don't have the third one. So I showed this other album a couple weeks ago that I picked up, Perfect Strangers. And I've been getting into Deep Purple lately. And I found this one there, The House in the Blue Light. This album is really good, man. Blackmore just shreds. He is just freaking awesome. So I really enjoyed this album. I picked it up for $15, and it's like mint. And I was really glad to get it. I can get it out of the plastic. There you go. So I really enjoyed it. It's got the hype sticker on here, and beautiful. Just a beautiful album for $15. I drove all the way over to Asheville for that record. Yeah, pretty much. So this here came in the mail, and this is Lavender by Marillion. And having it in the plastic here really doesn't do it justice. Let me take this out of here. I'm going to put this in a frame. And hopefully it continued to record. It was an emergency alert. It's always something, you know. It never ceases to amaze me. Every time I try to do a show, something happens. So this is the Marillion Lavender 12-inch. And here's the boys here. Isn't that just breathtaking? I'm going to put this in a frame and then frame it up. And I need to figure out today which ones I don't have. And then when I went to the thrift store, it's a thrift store that's helps out people that are homeless and stuff like that. I noticed this record here that I'm going to show you that was there like 3 weeks ago. So I looked it up on Discogs. And they said that the record's worth like $50–60. So I knew there was 3 scratches on it. There's 2 on one side and 1 on the other. And they're pretty deep. So I figured I'd just go in for $1. I was going to take a chance on it and put it on the turntable and see if it plays through after I clean it a couple times in my Humming Guru. And the album is a country record. Pat Daly, Whiskey Morning. Now, just by looking at the record, I thought maybe I'd never seen this record before. That I thought it'd be, worth something. And I can put it in my store and try to make a profit on it and then use that money to buy something that I want. I'm still missing a few albums. I'm still missing Bonko's Darwin. I'm missing Ballerman, Grobschnitt. There's like 5 top albums that I'm still missing that I want to get in my collection as far as prog rock. And so I try to find gems like this to flip so that way there I can get what I want and not use household money. That makes sense? I guess it does. So this one here is pretty cool. And the cheapest one you can get on Discogs is like $25 and that was like for VG minus or good plus or something. So it must be a pretty rare record. There's only the CD and the record of this, like one pressing of this guy. So anyway, enough said about that guy. I'm gonna play it later today and see how it plays through. If it makes a lot of noise and stuff on those scratches, then I'll put that in the description and see if somebody wants it for like, I don't know, $15 or something. So anyway, going through these CDs, going through the 90s, I realized one thing, that I was missing out on a lot of music that I love because I had it all stored away in another room where I could sell it all. So I thought to myself, Art, you need to go ahead and go through these CDs and bring them back out and play them because I'm missing out on all this great music. So here's some stuff that I picked up this week while I was out shopping. Now CDs, you can pick them up. These are all like $1 a piece. You can pick up CDs cheap, really cheap. And a lot of people have been picking them up and they've been getting, putting them in their CD player and then getting an adapter to put with the CD player that's got new firmware. So it gives it a boost. And there's lots of videos out there about those adapters that you can put on add those to an old Blu-ray or an old DVD player to upgrade it, so to play it on there, and it's cheaper than going out and buying like a $400 CD player. Anyway, I haven't done that yet, but that's down the road. I'm hoping to do that. Dire Straits, Love Over Gold. These were $1. That's a great album. Brothers in Arms. I already had a copy of this, but this was a better one, and then I'll probably, if I have CDs when I go through them, if they got a lot of scratches and they won't clean up very good, I'm just going to put them in a box and take them to Goodwill, I think. Bob Dylan, the band. This whole double set was $1. It's got some great songs on it. I used to have a copy of this, and it went out in the purge. I sold it. I went in my store, and it went out. It sold really quick. The Beatles, White Album. I only have the one disc. This is disc 2, but it's like mint. This one wasn't there. Meet with the Beatles. This here was $1, and it's like mint. It's in excellent shape. Rod Stewart, Greatest Hits, Sing It Again, Rod. It's got the Pinball Wizard on here, which is a great song, and I guess that's the only place you're going to get it unless you get the Pinball Wizard. Hoist the Planets. This is a great. I have this album, but now I have it on CD. This one here, I seen it. It's an EP, small 45, and it's by some guy named. You minimalist people out there might know who this guy is. To get it out of the thing here, Rashidi Sakamoto, Rashidi Sakamoto or something like that. I think it's like new age music or minimalist music, light jazz. And then I found these 4 Jackson Browne CDs. This is his later stuff. I like Jackson Browne a lot. The Naked Ride Home. And these were all $5 a piece. This one here is just called Looking East, Jackson Browne. And these are not available on album, I don't think, because these were 90s. Late 80s, 90s, going into the 2000s. Jackson Browne, I'm Alive. And this is Standing in the Breach, Jackson Browne. So that was my pickups for the week, and I got these at Mr. K's along with that record I showed. So are you ready to go back in 1993? What was you listening to in 1993? Well, what did I do with them? Oh, here they are. So in 1993, what was I doing in 93? I was stationed, I was out in Pascagoula, Mississippi. Yes, Mississippi, let me tell you. That was some wild times when I was living out there, but I was on a ship and I was gone most of the time. So I had all my stuff in an apartment, and I really wasn't home much. But anyway, I digress. I was getting ready to go to Orlando by 93 to go to shore duty and then retire. So I was looking forward to that. Mississippi was just kind of like a detour. My previous ship was being decommissioned, and we all had to go somewhere. So that's what happens when you came back from Desert Storm, and then the ship decommed, and it went to the Germans, and they came aboard, and they changed the name of the ship, and they said, you're going to this ship, you're going to the USS Gallery, and by the way, it's being changed home ports. So good luck with that. Anyway, it all worked out. Coming in at number 10. Now this is 1993, folks. So what were you listening to, like I said, in 93? For the picker, I was listening to my 10 top albums. I went through probably 50 releases. I wrote them all down, and I took my top 10 that I was listening to the most in 93. And I'll start off with number 10. And Alan Parsons, Try Anything Once. This was a comeback. You know, Eric Wolfson, they didn't get along, and then eventually he passed away, and Alan Parsons went on his own. And so this was, I think, the first album he did after they broke up, the project, and that's why it's called just Alan Parsons. But if you wondered what happened to Alan Parsons after Gowdy, he kept making music. It just wasn't with Eric Wolfson. So here you go. Try Anything Once. It's got the cover on there, I think, from Hypnosis. Same people that did the Pink Floyd record covers. Some of them. Anyway, number 10. Coming in at number 9 for 1993. And I like Sting. Everybody out there knows I like Sting. And this is 10 Summoner's Tales. And this is a great album. All his early albums are really good. If I Ever Lose My Faith in You. He's got a great voice. Like I said before, I enjoy Sting more than I do the Police. But I did listen to Synchronicity. That was an album I liked. And then they broke up. But for me, I enjoy Sting more than the Police. Coming in at number 8. I'm going to trio of live albums now. I'm going to show you. Coming in at number 8 was the tour that I missed because I was out of country. And this is an evening of Yes Music Plus. Anderson, Bruford, Wakeman, and Howe. And this is when Yes got back together, so to speak. East Coast Yes, West Coast Yes. This is without Chris Squire. He had his own band and own problems with trying to find a lead singer and drug problems and everything else. But yeah, this is what John Anderson was doing, and then he grabbed all these guys, and then they made this fantastic album in the late 80s, and then they went on tour, and they used Jeff Berlin for the bass player and Tony Levin on some bass. So I think Tony Levin did the American ones, and then Jeff Berlin did the European dates. They split it up. The Moody Blues coming in at number, where are we at, number 7? The Moody Blues, number 7. I saw this tour, and I think I've seen it twice. This is with here is with the Red Rock Symphony Orchestra, but I'm pretty sure I've seen it twice in Florida, and enjoyed. It was a fantastic show. Ray Thomas was still alive, and the band was pretty much intact. Had Patrick Moraz playing keys before he got the boot, and they wanted to share the music 4 ways instead of 5 ways. But great album, great show. It's on DVD or Blu-ray. I'm sure you can find it. It was on PBS. Coming in at number 7, 8, 9, 10, 7. Number 6, Pat Metheny, The Road to You, coming in at number 6. I would have loved to have seen this show. Didn't get to see it. Never seen Pat Metheny. One of my favorite artists, and it seems like every year I've been going through these CDs and through the 80s and 90s, and even back in when I was doing the 70s when I started this whole journey. I show a Pat Metheny records because I love Pat Metheny so much. So The Road to You is a live show, and coming in at number 6. Now we're down halfway. Coming in at number 5. Steve Hackett. Steve Hackett made a couple albums in the 90s, and this was Guitar Noir, and this is a fantastic album. Vampire with a Healthy Appetite, There Are Many Sides to the Night, Paint Your Picture. I love this album. It's a great album, and all the stuff he did in the 90s I really like. There's another one he did after this. So yeah, Steve Hackett. Coming in at number 3. No, coming in at number 4. I did the Steve Carlson. Coming in at number 4. Both Sides. Phil Collins, former bandmate of Steve Hackett's. Phil Collins did albums all the way through the 80s, 90s, and into the 2000s. Solo records, at least. And a couple Genesis records. Both Sides of the Story. This is a great album. I love Phil's lyrics. I love Phil Collins. I'm all in on Phil Collins. So this is a person here that North Carolina vinyl picker, Big Chief. I don't poo-poo on Phil Collins. I like Phil Collins. So there you go. Listen to this record. You'll love it. His songs are just timeless. Coming in at number 3, the Kate Bush. She doesn't get to number 1 this year. This album's okay. It's got some throwaway songs on it. It's got some great songs on it. It's got Rubber Band Girl, So, yeah. Big Stripey Lie. Coming in at number 3. It's a good album. There was a promotion. I think Prince is on this record. There's some good songs on here. There's some throwaway stuff on here. There was some promotional stuff with some different kinds of CDs and videos and VHS tapes and all kinds of stuff that involved in that promotion. I got some stuff in the back room that's put away. I'm coming in at number 2. This easily could have been number 1. I played this album probably, I don't know, it's got to be in my top 25 CDs of all time that I've played and I've listened to. Yeah, I love the Yellow Jackets. It's a jazz band, and Jimmy Haslip plays bass for them. This CD here is just amazing. I love the bass playing on this. Jimmy Haslip is just incredible. This is on GRP, and I made a copy of this for a fellow worker that I worked with in Orlando one time. And it's just great. It's just a fantastic. If you love jazz, you know, then you would probably, and you love bass playing, then this is the CD to look out for. I never see it when I'm out in stores looking around, but you probably can find it on eBay or Discogs. Jimmy Haslip from the Yellow Jackets. He's no longer with them, but he was with them through the 70s and the 80s, and then he left. But Jaco Pastorius, his son, actually was on one of their albums, one of their later albums. So I can't listen to this enough. I love it. Number 2, coming in number 1. This is going to be probably a surprise for you, and many of you people out there probably don't even know who this band is. But it's Clannad and Moya Brennan, and these guys are pigeonholed as a new age band, but they made a couple albums that leaning towards rock or even progressive rock. And this album, Bamba, is probably like my top 3 Clannad albums. And her sister is Anya. I've mentioned that before. Everybody probably knows Anya. She does new age music, but that's her sister. And their last name is Brennan, from the House of Brennan, and they're Irish. And this is Clannad. So on this album here, you get the theme to The Last of the Mohicans, that movie from the 90s. What a fantastic album, or fantastic movie with Daniel Day-Lewis. I love that movie, and that song is on this record that they did, and it's in the movie. And so if you're into Gaelic music, or if you're not into Gaelic music, still listen to it. I love Clannad, and Clannad is coming in at number 1 for me. That's what I was listening to. I was listening to a lot of jazz in the 90s, you know. So you're going to see, continuing on next week when we do 1994, you're going to see more jazz, I'm sure. So that's all I pretty much got this week, 22 minutes, and I've been doing I've been doing that. So take care out there, and I'm going to try to get out this week and find a few things. I don't know what the week's going to bring, but we'll find out. I've been on a Deep Purple kick, so maybe I'll find some more. There's a couple albums I'm looking for. I'm looking for In Rock, some of the earlier records with Blackmore, you know, In Rock, and then there's another one after that, the live with the Sympathy Orchestra and stuff like that. So you'll take care out there and support them troops. On the North Carolina Vinyl Picker will be back Wednesday when we do a deep dive, and I'm going to show you some records from the famous Charisma label. I'm continuing on with our journey through these record labels. So take care. See you soon, and have a good rest of your weekend. Bye for now.